Welcome back. Daniel Imoho, the APC Publicity Secretary in Benue State, joins us from our Abuja studio, as well as Mr. James Ornguga, who is the APC Caretaker Committee Publicity Secretary. So, two Publicity Secretary. Mr. Ihomun, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Let's also talk to, but let me begin with Mr. Ornguga on this particular. Mr. Ornguga, if you can hear me. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So maybe give us what is playing out, because for a while we knew that Austin Agada and his team have been in the leadership. We know that there was a time it was between Austin Agada and Omakolo, and then what is playing out now with the CTC being inaugurated. So for the benefit of the audience, how did the CTC come about?
All right, thank you very much. The issue in Benue is very clear. It all started in February this year when the former chairman of the party, Austin Agada, was suspended by his own word, and the suspension was duly ratified by his own local government. And the report came to the state. And what happens is, at the state level, you have a state working committee of 18 people that administer the party on a day-to-day basis. But the actual body that administers the party in the state and sets the agenda for the state working committee to implement is the state executive committee, which the governor is also a member. And by virtue of his position in all states of the federation by convention, the governor is allowed to preside over the state executive committee as the leader of the party in the state. So when Agada's suspension was duly ratified by his local government and forwarded to us, being the chairman then as it was, he failed to call a meeting that would deliberate on this. And the matter became so heated when a court order was obtained by a member of the party, barring him from parading himself as the chairman of the party and carrying out the functions of the party. And it became imperative for the state executive committee as the adjudicatory body that gives direction in the state to now wade in and provide direction. And that was exactly why we met as members of SEC, including serving and past members of the National Assembly, serving and past principal officers of the State Assembly, the governor, and the state ESCO members that felt there was a crisis in the party to be resolved. And when this happened, the party met and decided, in line with Article 17(4), that where a vote of no confidence is passed on a member, someone, it was not very specific on the next ranking officer to take over, but someone should be chosen to take the position pending the ratification by the next adjudicatory body. And in this case, SEC decided that Benjamin Omakolo, the then welfare secretary, since he was from the same zone as Austin Agada, be allowed to lead the party in acting capacity, which he assumed leadership. Agada, on the other hand, said he was not legitimately suspended, but he had a window of 7 days to appeal the suspension, which he failed to do. And that was overtaken by events. Now, the party broke into a very deep faction, some loyal to Omakolo and some loyal to Austin Agada. But to cut the long story short, the National Working Committee of the party, exercising the power of NEC, sat and decided that in line with Article 13(3)(b) of the party's constitution, which confers on the National Working Committee the powers to dissolve any organ of the party, provided it is in the compelling interest of the party and to allow the party from total collapse. Right. They exercised that power, and both factions were put aside, and a 7-man caretaker committee has been put in place to administer the party, and that is the truth now.
Okay, let's take it back to Mr. James on Mr. Paul Ihomun on this particular. Let me come to you, Mr. Ihomun. Your response to what he said as far as this is concerned.
what my friend James Ornguga, the former organizing secretary of our party in Benue State, is saying is not true. You are aware that there was a purported suspension of the state chairman of our party, Agada, by an appointee of the governor. And that purported suspension was set aside by the National Working Committee of our party. This is the letter set aside that purported suspension. Not only that, the state chairman of our party, Agada, he went to court to challenge that suspension, and he got justice. But before he could even go to court, the governor of our state, His Excellency Alia, said that he was pressurized by members of the party in Zone C to appoint a chairman. The constitution of our party is very clear. The governor does not have that power. And it was on this channel, this very channel, that the governor claimed that he was pressurized. He made a press conference. And within the constitution of our party, the governor does not have such powers to appoint an acting chairman. It is, even when a chairman is suspended, or even when he dies, it is the next in line from that zone. And in this case, it would have been the zonal vice chairman of our party, Bishop Peter Obaji, that would have even taken charge if that was the case. And so, when the governor appointed Omakolo as acting chairman, the court now came and cleared the matter that Agada remained the chairman of the party. The National Working Committee of our party also supported it with a statement after a meeting, clearly saying that Agada remained the chairman of the party. There and then, the state government of our party created a faction of the party. And according to the constitution of our party, creation of a faction of the party is clear exposure for the party. But I do not know why the National Working Committee of the party did not even send the governor away from the party. Of course, we knew that maybe there could be venue window for reconciliation within the party. The National Working Committee sent members to the state for reconciliation, which was started. But we later found out that the National Committee of the party just woke up without a stakeholders meeting with members of the party, without consulting even elected members of the party, maybe for example, the National Assembly caucus of the party, and just created a 7-man committee to take over that claim that they dissolve the ESCO committee of the party. While before then, there was an injunction from the court, from Maghreb High Court, stopping the National Working Committee of the party from dissolving, tampering, or even substituting names of members of the state working committee of the party, and they created an illegal category committee that has been placed. That place has been placed in Benue today. And so the major problem of Benue is the governor trying to take over the party, trying to divide the party, destroy the party, and leave.
All right, let's take it back to Mr. James Ornguga. So, simple question. Does the governor have the power to do some of the things he's doing from what he's saying? Because on one hand, he's saying that your committee is illegal. You are saying they are former. So it looks like they are word against yours. So maybe you point to the constitution of your party where the governor has the powers and why the governor is not in a good relationship with Agada as we begin to wind down.
All right, thank you very much. I think my friend, the former publicity secretary of the party, is speaking from a very high point of ignorance. I refer you to Article 17. Article 17, 4 of the APC Constitution. He said that Agada was suspended by somebody who was serving as caretaker councillor. Therefore, as an appointee, he was not supposed to exercise his duty. But I refer you to Article 17, 4, and I'm reading directly from the Constitution of the party. It says, except in a caretaker capacity, no officer in any organ of the party shall hold executive or legislative position or office in government concurrently, except in a caretaker capacity. The party chairman who suspended Agada was a supervisory councillor, which is in a caretaker committee set up by the governor and the local government. So he wasn't holding any elected position. And you come down to sub 6. It says, where a vote of no confidence has been passed on an officer, the relevant party organ shall appoint another person to act in his place, pending ratification by the National Convention or Congress, as the case may be. It was on this ground that Omakolo was made the acting chairman. They say another person. The law does not say the next ranking officer. No, that is not the position of the APC Constitution. And I refer you again to Article 13.3, where the National Working Committee exercised their own duty. In Article 13.3, sub B.
We don't have so much time. Let's take it back.
Look, listen to me. Listen to me. It says, notwithstanding anything to the contrary in this Constitution, the National Executive Committee shall have the power to set up a caretaker committee in place of any organ at all levels, except the Advisory Council and National Convention, where in its opinion, there is a compelling situation warranting such action in the overriding interest of the party. And this is the ground upon which the National Working Committee acted.
Let me take you to Mr. Paul.
ESCO and both the Omakolo's ESCO. So Morgan,
Mr. Paul,
currently is the former publicity secretary of the party. He's no longer the publicity secretary.
Mr. Paul, let me come back to you, Mr. Paul, in our Abuja studio. Apparently, this looks like it has to continue, but I'm going to give you time to just talk as much within the time we have. What is the way forward? At the end of the day, we know what is playing out. At least, we know your group is loyal to the SGF. We know his group is loyal to the governor. So it's a battle, it appears like a battle of proxies, using the big men using the proxies to fight their battle. That's what it looks like for us who are onlookers and watchers. What is the way forward?
Article 21.3 of the APC Constitution clearly states the procedures of, discipline. In the case of the state chairman, the first adjudicatory body is the zonal committee of the party, because this issue includes the issue of a state chairman. So it has to be handled at the zonal level. Secondly, my friend James Ornguga also, was clever by half. The National Working Committee does not have powers, according to our constitution, to dissolve any elected state executive committee of the party. It is the National Executive Committee of the party, not the National Working Committee of the party. And therefore, it's wrong. I also want to clear that the SGF, as you have asked, has nothing to do with the governor on this matter. It is the governor that wants to, is trying to take over the structure of the party. He wants to first take over the structure of the party. When he has not succeeded, he wants to destroy the party and leave.
You want to take over the structure? No, Mr. Paul, just a minute. On the illegal committee that is set up in Benue. Justice Teresa Igocha sent an injunction which was not held to by the National Committee. But just yesterday, she extended that injunction to 7 more days. And as far as the law is concerned, as far as we're concerned, Comrade Austin Agada and the State Executive Committee of the party remains until the court or the National Executive Committee of the party says otherwise. So everybody's citing the law. Thank God I have it
APC
here.
is a party of law, and we are guided by the Holy Grail, which is the concern of the party.
All right, so you
So whether
said
the governor likes my face or he doesn't like the face of the chairman, it doesn't hold water. We are guided by the Constitution, which is the Holy Grail of our party.
Just a minute, just in 1 second. He said he wants to control take over the structure of the party. From who?
From stakeholders, from leaders of the party. In the APC
who is
has
the
a lot
leader?
of leaders
Who is the
in
leader?
Benue.
No, just hold on, Mr. Ihomun, hold on.
The party is today.
Mr. Ihomun, who is the leader of your own group?
Something like stakeholders. We have members of SEC.
Hello, sir, come again.
Illegal composition. There is nothing like stakeholders in the constitution of the APC.
Okay, maybe your last thought, Mr. Ornguga. Just your last take.
Yes. All right.
30 seconds, Mr. Ornguga.
All right. Well, I'm saying this is the solution that the National Working Committee has put forward to dissolve the two ESCOs and come up with a caretaker committee to administer the party. And these people are no longer in the ESCO of the party. To continuously parade themselves is an affront on the party. The only people sustaining Agada's rule over us was the National Secretariat. And now that the National Secretariat has said he's no longer the chairman, he should go in peace. For a long time,
we're totally out of time, gentlemen. We're totally out of time. I wish we had more time. Mr. Daniel Ihomun, APC Publicity Secretary.
This is the letter where the same one committee asked.
Not a problem. We're totally out of time. Mr. James Ornguga, thank you as well,
and
gentlemen.
The same working committee has said Agada is no longer the chairman.
We must thank you. But thank you, gentlemen. Now it's almost confusing now to address who, but one is caretaker, one is in the party leadership that is being contested.